The last time Jun Kazama appeared in a canonical Tekken game was back in Tekken 2, which was 26 years ago. Fast forward to now 2022 and Jun Kazama has finally made her return in the upcoming Tekken 8 installment. But the question still remains, where has Jun Kazama been all this time? Hey guys, Gamer Nemi here, and today we're going to be diving deep into the lore of Jun Kazama and try to break down exactly what's been going on with her, where she could have been, and what else might have transpired since the events of Tekken 2, Tekken 3. So to do that, we're going to break down her lore. So who exactly is Jun Kazama? So Jun is a wildlife surveillance officer of the conservation group WWWC who uses Kazama style traditional martial arts, a martial art that has been handed down to the Kazama family for generations. Jun grew up surrounded by nature on the island of Yakushima, where she was taught the ways of the Kazama style martial arts and developed strong psychic abilities. Before moving to Tokyo when she reached adulthood, while city life distanced her from spiritual surroundings, her father's ghost appeared her, reaffirming her beliefs in the supernatural. So it's always been a thing with the Kazamas and the Mishimas. The supernatural always seems to be attached to this family. For some reason, it always has to be supernatural, ghosts and all that stuff. So we're gonna dive deep into this belief, into my theory on what has been happening with Jun Kazama, and yeah, more on that later, boys, more on that later. So it was during her time in Tokyo while working for WWWC that she heard of a man named Kazuya Mishima, who was involved in the smuggling of protected animals. Also sensing a mysterious power surrounding Kazuya, Jun decides to enter the second King of Iron Fist tournament to both put an end to the illegal smuggling and free Kazuya from whatever power it was that surrounded him. At some point during this time, Jun became pregnant with Kazuya's child. Whilst Jun was able to cause conflict within Kazuya, swaying devil's hold over him, ultimately she was unable to prevent him from going to meet his father, Heihachi, in the tournament finals, where he had to rely on devil's power to fight. When Kazuya was defeated in battle by his father, who subsequently disposed of his son's body in an active volcano, Jun returned alone to Yakushima, where she gave birth to a son whom she named Kazama Jun. There she raised him alone in the mountains, teaching him the way of the Kazama style martial arts as he grew up. As Jin approached his 15th birthday, Jun began to sense the approach of a great evil. Concerned, she warned Jun that should anything happen to her, he was to seek out his grandfather Heihachi. On the day of Jin's 15th birthday, Jun's premonition came true when she was attacked by Ogre, who was seeking out the world's greatest martial arts to defeat them and absorb their abilities. Jin rushed to his mother's side to aid her in battle, but was easily outmatched by Ogre and knocked unconscious. When he awoke, he found his home destroyed and Jun nowhere to be found. Believing her to be dead, Jin set out to avenge her by defeating Ogre. Jun's true status after these events remains unknown. This is as far as Jun's lore goes in the game. Now, first things first, we need to clear one thing right here, right now. Harada did confirm a few years ago that Jun was not killed. Now, in the Tekken 3 opening, we do have this shot of Ogre holding a beheaded head, right? Everyone thought, me included, that this was Jun's head. Like, I don't know how Harada just decide to say Jun is not dead, because all this points to Jun's death. Like the head, if this is not Jun, who is he? Who is she? Right? Like, who does this head belong to? Like, who else would it belong to? So in my opinion, I think Harada actually messed up on this, because everyone wanted Jun back, so he kind of like did the reverse Uno and just say that Jun is still alive, but I really love that, because Jun is a very, very highly demanded character, very fan favorite character as well, so it's good to see her coming back. So Jun was not dead during all this period, and this is where the video now this is what I want to talk about. Like, where the hell has this hand been, right? Where the hell has Jun been throughout all these issues with Jinpachi and Heihachi and Kazuya, the whole Mishima Zaibatsu, the war, Azazel? Where has she been during all this time? So let's take a look at a couple of theories. So my first theory, which is what I think actually happened with Jun, for me, in my opinion, is we are told that she saw premonitions, right? She saw ghosts, the ghost of her father, right? She has this attachment to her with like wildlife. She has this purity about her, always represented by the color white, this thing about her being pure. All this to me points out to a connection with none other than Angel. There is a possibility that Jun is actually Angel as well. If not Angel, she might be possessed by Angel at times, kind of like a counter to Kazuya. Like when Kazuya goes devil, she goes angel, something related to those lines, right? And for her to go missing, I feel as though they would come up with something that would concern her, like, you know, how can I say it? How can I put this? Her being away for the sake of Jin. Something about her being far from Jin in order to protect him. Like, this is like the cliche of many anime storylines, guys. So I think they'll do something like that. Secondly, I believe the Sirius, which is Claudio's gang, right, has something to do with Angel. I think, and I've spoken about this in my video before, I think the Sirius are attached to Angel's power. The power they use to exorcise demons comes from Angel. So I think, or I believe, that the leader of the Sirius might actually be Angel. If not a leader, then she must be the entity that the Sirius worship. Now this might be a huge reach, but again, guys, this is just theories, trying to see what exactly or where exactly this character might have been. So that's my first theory. Jun is Angel, or she might be possessed by Angel and she is involved with a Sirius. I'm going for this one. This is my number one theory, and I really hope it's true. Man, I hope it's true. This would be sick. Seeing Jun as Angel, we need a Mishima spot. Remember, Heihachi is dead, so we need a Mishima. Alright, so secondly, Jun might be an entity. Jun might be dead, but actually is an entity. Now this might be a reach, considering Harada has already confirmed that she is not dead. But like, bro, evidence points her to being dead, right? Or exactly, she disappears right exactly after fighting Ogre. And not just that, both her and Ogre disappear completely. If we look at the Tekken Bloodline, which shed more light on the story between Jun and Jin, right after the fight and the house burns down, Jun is nowhere to be seen and Ogre is nowhere to be seen as well. So I think Jun just disappears. She's an entity, right? Either that, or when Ogre absorbs your character or absorbs the power of your character, that character does not really die but remains as an entity, right? Just a spiritual form, not really physical form. We did see Ogre return at the end of the Tekken Bloodline series to fight Jin, but there was still no sign of Jun. So in my opinion, Jun is just absorbed, not dead, not missing, just absorbed by true Ogre, and somehow in Tekken Age is released back into the world, either in true form, a true physical form, or in spiritual form. That is my second theory. Now there are so many theories about Jun out there, right? Someone thinks she's been kidnapped, maybe she's involved with Lars, maybe. I've seen so many theories online on Reddit, but those for me sound more like reaches compared to what I think. They feel a little bit far-fetched to me, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to cover like so many niche theories, but it's possible, right? There's this relationship between Asuka and Jun as well. Maybe she's been in the care of Asuka, and Asuka has been trying to reach out to Jin. There are so many theories out there, it's just insane. But it's very weird having Jun Kazama, who's like one of the biggest protagonists of the game. She is Jin's mom, and she's been missing all this time. So it's kind of weird. So these are kind of the theories I wanted to talk about, and man, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Where do you think Jun has been all this time? What are your theories? Please leave your comments in the leave your opinions in the comment section. I would love to hear them. And furthermore, I did want to talk more about Harada speaking about Jun. So this was at, if I'm not mistaken, the IGN interview. Harada was asked about the return of Jun Kazama by the IGN guys. He was asked, you know, what caused them to bring her back, right? What's the reason for her returning after all these years? And Harada said that it should be centrally important to Jin, because people who are familiar with the character knows he's got the devil Jin power, and he's kind of typically wavering between his human side and the devil influence, according to Harada. He also claimed that the developers are planning to add Jun back into the series sooner than now, right? But the Tekken series story progression took longer to set in motion and looks different than initially penned. Now, I don't know if he's referring to Tekken 7 or the early development days of Tekken 8, but if we look back at Tekken 7, the demand for Jun Kazama was insane. The demand for Jun was crazy. I remember even after the review of Kunimitsu, like nobody was sure who that character was at first, bro. I think Twitter blew up. Like everyone thought the character shown on the CH8 was Jun. Like that's just crazy. It's insane how people love this character. Believe me, when Tekken 8 drops, Jun will have one of the highest use stats. Like this is not even this is fact. This character is so loved, it's insane. So Harada did want to add her back to the game earlier than sooner, so it's kind of a shame we didn't get to see that, but I prefer it this way. I'm kind of happy that they did focus heavily on Kazuya and Heihachi in Tekken 7, which leaves room to focus on Jun and Jin in Tekken 8. Jun, Jin, and Kazuya, right? The Kazama family. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I love how they made that route, because worst case scenario, they could have released Jun as a DLC with no storyline, just like Leroy, Fakumram, Lydia, and that could have sucked. Like that could have sucked ass. So this for me was a story well done. So that's what I really wanted to talk about, guys. I wanted to discuss some Jun Kazama. Now I didn't really play Jun in Tag 2. She is a very, like, her fighting style is very, it looks clean. Like it's tempting to play this character, and I can see why so many people love this character, but I didn't really play her. But she's definitely one of my, you know, beta female characters, my favorite female characters in the game. She's up there, like, for real. I love her design, her look, the fighting style looks, oof, the stances, it looks good. It looks good. Will Asuka make the game? Question mark. Might just make a video on that. So yeah, I just thought I'll talk about Jun, my boys. Thank you again for the support on my channel. It's been so good recently. I can't thank you enough. You know, the YouTube grind is wild. So man, thanks for the love, guys. I really appreciate. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts on this storyline about Jun. You know, where do you think she's been all this time? Leave your opinions in the comment section. So yeah, thanks my boys, and take care. GG.